I love Ryan Gosling. As all straight males do, he is one of the 3 acceptable gentlemen to find hot as a straight dude. The other 2, of course, obviously being Ryan Reynolds and Leon S. Kennedy. And Mr. Gosling's new film, Project Hail Mary, came out a couple days ago, and I'm going to talk about my thoughts and feelings about it, and you're going to be a nice good boy and listen to me, okay? Okay. For those interested in a plot summary, Mr. Gosling is a middle school teacher sent up into space on a top secret mission to investigate the only planet that star isn't dying to a microbacteria called Astrophate. With Mr. Gosling's crew already long dead, and him meeting an alien named Rocky, a little rock guy, Mr. Gosling and his new little rock friend need to uncover what makes this planet special and why its star is not dying in the same way as the rest of them. So I'm going to start talking about my spoiler-free thoughts first, and then we'll move on to spoiler thoughts after. I will say when we get to that, so you're still good to watch from this point on. I'm going to start by talking about the OST briefly. I think it adds a lot of great tension to the more tense scenes. The OST did a really good job, especially I watched this in IMAX, which I think is the way to go if you're going to see it. It really did add to the experience, I find, and the OST really was good. Same with the sound design. And the licensed songs that are put into this, the placement for them is overall pretty good. I think they did well with them. The effects are great. Some of the best depictions of space I've seen in a film. Also, Rocky looks really good, like the CG to bring him to life. I actually don't know if he was made practical or not, but I imagine some CG was going to be required to make him function properly, and if practical or CG, he looks good. The pacing does lull a bit in the middle, as I find a lot of films that go over that 2.5 hour mark, or go into the 2.5 hour mark, do. Which is also a bit of my own personal bias, so take that with a bit of grain of salt. But it is one thing that I personally felt, is there was a bit of a lull into the middle. But I think overall the pacing wasn't that bad. Mr. Gosling's acting is, of course, great as always. Potential top 5 roles for my GOAT. I think maybe... I don't think it's going to top the ultimate classic of Lars and the Real Girl, or of course, Blade Runner, but it is he definitely did put his out as best in this, and it does show. And lastly, I just want to briefly mention, Rocky and Mr. Gosling have an adorable relationship that's a joy to watch. It really was sweet, and there was a lot of really funny moments throughout the movie. Spoiler territory. Leave if you wish not to be spoiled. I'd like to start by talking about the action scene on the planet where they're getting the sample towards the end of the movie. I think that was a really well done, really tense scene. I think it was my personal standout just sequence from the movie. The visuals of the planet itself look beautiful, and I think it's just all came together really well. On that note, also the fake out death sequence for Rocky was, in a true Mr. Gosling film style fashion, very tragic and very sad. It was definitely a very emotional movie. I feel like there were a lot of times where the emotions high and low were very present, and I feel like you really did feel it, especially also within even the comedy. My theater at least had a lot of people who were laughing through most of the jokes, and you could tell when scenes were more tense or sad. You could kind of tell the general consensus was like that, and that's too for me. As for the ending, I actually thought it was very cute that Mr. Gosling found his companionship, not with Dwayne, but The Rock's. It was very sweet. I think his him living on Rocky's home planet at the end of the movie and saving Rocky was all a very sweet sequence. I think the way Rocky and his people were portrayed in general was actually done very well. It's one of the best things I can outright say about this movie. Overall, for me personally, I think this is the best movie of this year so far. I highly recommend you go check it out in theaters if you can. For me, I'm going to give it a 9.2 out of 10. Thank you for watching today's slop and listening to my thoughts. Goodbye.